Well, it says we started, I think. I got a screenshot here. I'm just cleaning off my desk, doing my thing late night. This is kind of what I do, just putter around. As you can see, I don't know if you can see. Let me see if you can see. Behind me, the desk is a complete mess. I can turn that off. You can't work it. It gets so bad sometimes. I get like this much space, and I get crap in the way. Uh, I got to clear off that whole shelf. I mean, it's got to go. This is unworkable at this point. So, well, grab it one at a time, get some pictures made, get it ready to sell. That's about it. You can watch. It's okay with me. Nobody's watching yet, but well, hey, there's something to stare at. So, well, we'll just start at whatever I see first and go from there. There's that $50 I got from Justin. Oh, that's why nothing's showing up. That's the Vloggy, by the way. That takes real good photos, but doesn't get the detail. You don't want to see the rest of this desk over here. That's just a friggin' mess. Yeah. Now let's see if that USB is working, shall we? That ain't looking good. Alrighty. No, I'd probably have to restart to get that to work. Okay, I'm going to restart. I'll see you in just a moment. Well, it might be working again. I'm not sure. I'll go back to screening me. There I am. Let me play with this camera. It's a USB only, and it's dead. All right, I think I'd have to reboot the whole darn thing or something. Well, that's no problem. I'll show you the screen. And what I can do is load up the camera, right? Yeah, here comes. Here comes the camera. And that should take a live picture. We'll just circumvent all this. Who needs technology? We can make it up as we go. There's George. Come on, George. Yeah, George is handsome, isn't he? I mean, really, he's like the look of the 1700s. And if I do this right, yeah, we can see the USB, so I don't have to reboot. Oh, there's people here. Look, SJ's here. Sylvia, I'm going to do a late night show, I think, every now and again. What happened? Huh. That's interesting. I don't know what's happening. Oh, I know. I think I know. There we go. Yeah, I haven't figured out the software yet. Let me go back. We got people in here. Look at this. 3 of them. There's Cleveland, Oldies and Goodies, Chris Hurley, SJ. That's 4. Somebody must have left. Oh, it's 2 o'clock in the morning up here. Avery Kitchens has showed up. Good to see you. I'm just cleaning up my desk, deciding what to do with all this stuff. I can't tell if I can see anything. Can we see this? All right. Yeah, I got to get used to this software thing. And then we got the camera. That's George. And you should be seeing that. But I got to open this to see that, and it blocks it. And put it down here. Yeah, that works. So I'm just hanging around. What do you do with these old war nickels away? Give them away, sell them, they're $1. They make great dollar deals. Yeah, if you can get these out of your nickel rolls, you'll get $1 for them, no problem at all. But one thing I've got back here, these albums. There's tons of them. I get these albums, right? I bid on the whole set. I got a method that I use to figure out how much I'm going to pay for that thing. And I get it. And I got the best ones. I sell it off. I get my money back. So these, I started with, 200 bucks. And now I got like 50 sets of Lincolns. And it all cost me 200 bucks. The same 200, just turning it over and over and over again. Every couple of weeks, I got another set. Alrighty. If I get into this. Whoa! See, that's why I need to clean this up. Where do you put all this stuff? But I got a set of Jeffersons. But it's empty. Well, I don't bother with nickels much, or this would be far more full than it is. There's the first 2 pages. I don't know if you can see that. I'm hoping so. But, well, there's next to nothing in there. So I figured I'd fill it up and then sell it off. It goes up through, I don't know, 1980 something. 1980. Yeah, but it's one of them 4-pagers, you know. Whoa! The problem with the old albums, they don't always hold as well. I can't even see that. Let's put it under there and look. It's a nickel. It's a 1973 blank. Let's find the hole for that. Nope, that one went out too. I'm having a bad bit of luck with this tonight. 73, that's up in this first page. Yeah, there it is. So I'll take that. That's the one. And they just kind of sit right in there. Now, oh, here's a neat trick for you. You get these older albums. They got sticky in there, and that's all well and good. What that's going to do on a lot of coins is leave little stripes on the back. But when they fall out, as that one does, I'm not sure camera's over here. How do you make your coins stick without falling out? I'm going to take just a little piece of paper. Let me make room here. I mean, a little piece of paper, right? I'm just going to tear off a corner. That's it. That's what's missing. Size of a fingernail. I'm going to stick that. Let me show you this up here. I'm going to stick it in there, you know, kind of on the side so it adds a little extra thickness to that edge, and then put my coin in. Yeah, I'm going to see a little bit of paper sticking up, but it's a wedge. It holds the darn thing in place. And now we got the nickel in there, and it doesn't fall out. Yeah, you can play with these albums. They're not always in great shape. This one's in fine shape. This is one of those, oh, what the hell is it? 9207 Whitman. Copyright 1958. This is one of those older albums. It's right up in here. And, yeah, they're presentable. These babies is 4 pages. The first 2 pages are double thick because you got the front and the back cover. And then you got the cardboard, which, you know, holds the coins in there. And the other 2, on the inside, it's just a 1 leaf, the single thickness, which makes it a lot easier to, you know, when you got to get them out, you push them in from the back. These are almost impossible, the first 2 pages. But with that nickel go I had, I'm going to stick that in there. That's a, let's see, what is it? Don't ever get old. You can't see nothing. That's a 1942. And it's a, oh, it's an X. Oh, good. Now, I showed you the toothpick trick. And I usually have a toothpick here. I'll get another one. I got a whole box of them where I can reach them. Alrighty. I'll give you George to look at again. There you go. And I'm going to see what you're seeing. Yo, you can see me all right. Yeah, that works fine. And you take your toothpick, you stick it in beside the coin, right? Just drag it around. And you see how that goes through? You get both sides at the same time. And you just drag it around, and your coin will get stuck. And it's not supposed to do that. All right. You ever notice when you show somebody something, it never works right? Come look at my car. It's making this funny noise. I don't hear nothing. All right. This is the problem with the cardboard flips. You can use them once. After that, you're done. And that's kind of grungy. Okay. Let's have a look at this real quick. I'm going to show you the next thing I will do. It's circulated. Geez, it's just about worn down to a nub. I can't see it. Let me pull that up again. Oh, it's that one. You can see there's a scratch on it. It's nothing great, but you got these hideous dark spots all over the darn thing, right? I mean, all across his head. I mean, it's toned, tarnished silver. You got the doo-doo over here. On these old ones, they're beaters. I keep a cotton cloth around. And all I'm going to do is give it a couple of wipes gently. There's one. I didn't do a damn thing. There's another one. What that's going to do is take off some of these fingerprints. And that's plenty. Is that Woody? Huh. But you got all the fingerprints, the recent fingerprints that are going to screw this up. And you see a major difference. And of course, your towel is going to get screwed up. There it is. Let me see. Check it out. Where did I wipe that? What came off of that cord? There it is. You can see this spot right here. That's what came off from just a couple of gentle wipes. And that's from mostly his shoulder, his face. But now I can see some decent detail. And you could too if I could focus this camera. There we go. I'll show you the camera in a bit. Yeah, that's a whole lot better. But that's a 42S. And there's the hole right there. Now, here's a neat trick. When you got to put the coin in the album, do it with a cloth. All right, just give it a push in with the cloth. Because you don't want to get your fingerprint all over. How do you put the BU coins in these folders? Jam it in with your finger. I've seen it done. They do it with proof sense all the time. Where's number 2? Yeah, all these things have numbers. Yeah. Here's a Dansko album full. I mean, the damn thing's full. And it's got their modern proofs in there. Let me see if I can find one here. Actually, these look pretty good. Maybe it's number 3. But you get them, they jammed the proof coin in there. And they didn't have gloves on, so the things get just friggin' nasty. They got marks on there, they tarnish. Maybe I can show you the 76S here, but put it right under the scope here. You slide that cover off. And you get fingerprints on your proof. Who wants fingerprints on their proof? There's the 76S. Got a little spot there. Those carbon spots. One speck of oil from your fingers is going to do it. You can wash your hands and your skin naturally secretes, well, oil to keep the outside moist. That's why you don't get the dry skin, like my grandmother had. Looked like scabies. I think she had mange. That's it. But if you're going to put them in there, protect them. I mean, you're talking $1 for those 1976S proof. But don't screw it up. It looks good. Anyway, I'll get on to these next. I'm going to check on the chat here, see what everybody's talking about. I'm really trying, but I can't see for all the buffering, says John W. Yeah, John, I'm way out here in the woods. Even late at night, there's still somebody, 2 miles over here watching cat videos, and that's going to slow me down. My internet speed is not the fastest. You'll probably realize that. Come on, I think they just got electricity out here. I lost everything. I'm on YouTube, and let me see. Yeah, that works. So, well, we do what we can. That's not really improving for me. What if I paused it? Okay, let me check this. I'm going to pause the video on my YouTube. Maybe that'll improve things. I got the sound muted because that don't work. Let's see. Hi, John. Give it a minute, I'd say. Anthony Goodley has the idea. Your computer's going to buffer what I'm projecting to you. Oh, I can look up how fast it's sending. 515 kilobytes per second. Yes, I could probably take a picture, right, print it out, stick it in an envelope, and mail it to you. And then you just get a bunch of them and flip them like cards, and then you can see it faster than I'm broadcasting right now. That's just pitiful. I did a test. I'm around 400 megabytes per second upload, or minute, or whatever it is. It's a little lower than it really wants to be. Is doo-doo a professional technical term? Yes, it is. Doo-doo, caca, crap, turd, it's in there. It's in the book. It's back here on the shelf, but I'd have to, dig it out and show you and then do a lot of explaining. But yeah, doo-doo. I mean, look at the thing. Well, not that one. Where'd it go? Oh, it's in the album. That's okay. I got another one here. Look at the doodle on this one. There's some doodle for you. Pull this up. Yeah, it's covered with doodle. You got some doodle in your shoes. We used to have this dog up the road called Doo-Doo Dog. Because the dog would drop a doo-doo, then he'd roll in the darn thing. So that was Doo-Doo Dog. I think that was Ray Ray's dog. Ray Ray and Doo-Doo. Yeah. Nobody has names like they do when they're 12 or 8. Yeah, this is a bit of a train wreck, this one. And what was the date on that? I don't know. It's 1957 plane. Let's go back to that album. See, I got this from, or not this, but the 57 you're looking at from Couch. Oh, I need it. Look. Take the coin, stick it in, use a cloth, press it down. Yeah, make sure it's balanced over something. And then see if it falls out. Life is good. Look, there's 2 holes filled right there. I'm happy with that. Yep. Okay. I put some of these up on in the coin up group the other day. Does it do any good to show it in there? No. How about the 2 buys? No. But I had a problem. I thought I had, 400 of the darn things. Well, first off, I sold 800 in like an hour. So I oversold. But then what I had, I started counting them out. And you got to wear gloves when you count these out because you get fingerprints on them. And then it's just hideous. There's one we can see it here. Better keep them covered. And wear gloves when you count them out because you can't count them out and get fingerprints on every single one of them. That's just sloppy. Anyway, the rest of the 400, I got 100 counted out, and that's great. But the rest of them, I dumped my coffee on. Now what do? I'm so screwed. I have the printer working. I put new ink in there, so now I can print up all these invoices. But I don't have them coming in until Friday, so I got to hustle and send out messages and apologize and go from there. But these are really nice. Now there's 2 kinds of vinyl. Here's one. Here's an older one. You have the old soft kind. Now these have plasticizers, softeners in there, and what that stuff does is come out, get in your coin, and the doo-doo comes out of the plastic and gets onto your coin, turns your coin into doo-doo. I turn you into doo-doo, but that's what screws up your coin is the softeners. These stiffies don't have it. Alrighty. Where the hell are they? These are Guardhouse unplasticized vinyl, and they work. It's the good stuff, and these will hold your coins for many years. But you got to keep it out of the light. All right. So the stuff you're going to see behind me here, that's going out the door pretty quickly. But if you keep these exposed to the light for a couple of years, that's when they're going to start to crack. Let me see if I got one here. All right, because you fold them when you put the coin in, and you squeeze them so they stay shut or they pop right open. And where it's going to crack is right up here at the top. And typically, let's see, it's over there. Here's a box of stuff. Typically, when you have your coins in a storage box, it's the tops that you're going to see. And it's the tops that's going to receive all the overhead light. So fluorescent light's a little tougher on these. It puts up more towards the ultraviolet. It's the ultraviolet that breaks down that plastic. If you understand plastic at all, it's a cross-linked hydrocarbon, and high energy light separates those bonds, and well, it just weakens the plastic until it becomes brittle and breaks. But these guys, they've been a staple for many, many years. I mean, they go back before I was around. They're cheap. What are they? $4 for 100. I sell these for $8 100. Yeah, they're twice as expensive, but it's 8 cents. They got 2 pockets. They're real handy. But I can take my coin out, take a picture, put it back in. These guys, if I want to take it out, it's ruined. These are single use. They make good finger rings. But let's reduce, reuse, recycle, right? Remember I'm always saying about that, save the world and all that stuff? They're handy, they're inexpensive, but you get a whole lot more use out of these things you can drop easily. You get a whole lot more use out of these. Next thing is when you ship them, that weighs a whole lot less than this. 100 of these is 8 ounces. 100 of those is 12 and a half. I exceed my limit. I can ship 12 ounce from my mailbox, but these guys are just too darn heavy. They're single use. Yeah, you make up on savings, but it costs you more in shipping. Is there a gain? I'm phasing these out altogether. Now these the dual pockets, you get two sides in there. I got a paper cutter on the other table, so I cut up these pieces of paper and they slide right in. I can write all my stuff on there. If I change the coin, I throw that away. I put another piece of paper in. If somebody writes all over that, I got those, I'm sure. There we go. Somebody writes on it. Well, that's how great it's their writing. It identifies it. They'll put a price on there, but I want to write on it. I don't want to look at his writing. Some of these, you can't read what the hell they're saying. That's a 2-center. You want to look at that? I'll put that under here. There you go. That's pretty. But you want to take a picture, you got to ruin that holder. Okay, where's that toothpick again? Stick it in, put it all the way through, push it around. And these things, they're reusable up to a point, but they're fairly inexpensive. If they break, which they do. And they're easy to work with, these toothpicks, because when they do break, you'll be able to find them with your bare foot. I'll get rid of that. I'll put that under here. 1864. Look, these 2 centers. You look at PCGS population reports, you're looking at 2,000-3,000 on a lot of the dates. 1964, 20,000. That's the first year they made them. They made, 20 million of them. 1965, a lot of them. After that, you're looking at a couple thousand per year that have survived. You can pick them up for $10. I think they're listening to me talk, Chris. These 2 centers are terrifically underpriced. They're undervalued. Now, you don't have a whole lot of collectors out there, and it's a good-looking coin. I mean, you got the big wreath, the big giant letters. It's kind of unique. It's not too far from the Shield nickel, but it's a handsome coin with this big shield on the front. I can zoom up. Bet you can get them for real good prices. I'm gonna have to. There we go. Screw that in a little harder. But if you want a coin that's undervalued, 2 cents for it. You want to make them more valuable, start telling people about them. But if you had, a big pile of money, just grab up 2 centers and sit on them. Look them up. What's going on at the top? Is that damage? Let's look at it. Now, that cotton cloth is real handy. You clean up your loop. Because I always grab it like that, Wow, that's got everything. Says it's a lamination error. All right. Is it a lam or is it damage? Look nearby. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, throw it in the pile. Okay, right here, I've got this anomaly above the scroll work here. It's in a line. Okay, I've got a straight line on it. But if it's not a straight line, well, look at the darn thing and make a determination. Laminations usually follow a pattern of a direction. Remember the Woody's video I did the other day. Here, this pattern is straight. That's a good sign. But here at the rims, up here on the right and over there on the left, this anomaly does not extend past the rim. Now, if it's a lamination, it might. If it's a damage, it might, and probably will. So we're going to look at this real hard. I'm looking for woodiness. Okay, I got something else going on down here. Not sure what's going on. But once you get past, lower than fine, it's really difficult to decide. Is it a lamination or is it damage? And there's not a whole lot left on the back. And that doesn't strike me as damage because there's nothing else nearby, right? If something scraped upon that, I'd expect to see something on the rim, right? Is there anything nearby over here in the rest of the design? Well, that's an 1864, John. Yeah, we're just looking, talking about it. And if you want to take pictures, these are useless. What are you going to do? I'm going to take a look at this. Sometimes chat does get stuck in the Arrow app. I'm going to guess YouTube. And I have to reload the stream. Everybody reload. Hit F5. 650 shipped, says John W., for an 1865. That's a really good price. Yeah. Junky ones that have good detail and aren't, damaged, yeah, you can get 10, 12 bucks pretty easily. I picked some up. I got date lists for, very little. I've offered them as, dollar deals and still double my money. That's, well, probably better than that. 2 cents are terrifically undervalued. You want to get into those, try them out. It doesn't take a whole lot to get a complete set until you get to the 72s and the 67 double die or the small motto. Yeah, but you're going to like these flips. Reusable. They cost a little bit more, but you're going to find the utility is so much worth it because if you got to take a picture, you throw it out. Just like that. Alrighty, let's put that away. That's that extra claw. That's supposed to be going out to the fellow from the class the other day. Alrighty. I'm going to stick that in here. I got more of these flips coming. There we go. And I like to keep these clean. Huh? Cleanliness is next to godliness, and you want to get as close as you can, I suppose. Especially the older you get. That'll hold up. And I'll throw that back here on the desk as I do everything else. Here's something else to look at. I got crap all over the place. Oh, I didn't show you the camera. What is this? I got 16 things on top of it. Let me see if we can see this. That doesn't help any. Oh, look at the top there. Bring that down. We'll look at just me for a minute. That's me. These are my boobs. This is the JZXY, whatever the hell it is. It's a USB scope. I'm going to back that up. What makes this really nice is the vertical stand. I can zoom in, you can crank it down, it goes down slow. What I do is just kind of grab it and push. And she goes right down quick. On the front is a dial. You can see as I adjust here, what that image over there on your left side does, it's going to come right into focus. I move this little, I'll put the card down there so I don't screw everything up. If I point it this way, I can decide which way to go. There you go. That's a 1957. And that's a proof. A real pretty one. Yeah, just sitting on the desk. Because that's the kind of stuff that builds up in your desk. Just gets shoved off to the side. And I wonder how these things get screwed up. I got 200 of them. They get shoved. They become less important when you got a lot of them. Alrighty. We look at the other side. I think the other side's a lot better. Now this camera is pretty handy for close-ups. You can get right in. You've seen probably what I do with them. I put this thing all the way down. It had a glass cap, which is around here somewhere. There it is. That was on the end of the camera before. Went like this. And it was, nice and pretty and all. But I find if I just rip that off, I can get a little bit closer down. And I can get right into that coin. And this is about as close as I can get right here. Try to zoom and sharpen that image. There you go. Now I'm down at the level of looking inside the letters. How's that you look? Yeah, that looks good. But if you're looking for double dies, it's really handy because now I can get in and focus on the upper point. If I can get my stick in here, I can look at the upper edge of that E. Wow, can't move anything here. Okay, it's at a level of focus might be exceeding my abilities. To point. Nah, there you go. But if I want to look at the top of that T, or the top of that A, or the inside of that A, That's going to let me do it. But nothing beats your eyeball. This thing was, I think, 27 bucks plus shipping, and it's pretty handy. I got a plan to make this into something else, so I'll keep the camera and set the rest aside. That's pretty handy. Get one. Can't afford it. Do some cornball hunting. You can find some stuff, sell it. Of course, then you got to take pictures. Okay, that camera, this one right here, it's not really made for taking pictures. A lot of people have those phones, you know, looks like the top of my stove. This is a Bloggie. Had this for a few years. It does a darn good job on videos. Let me turn that on. There you go. You see what it's looking at? Let's see if we can see. Okay, we're taking a picture of a camera, using a camera. This is one of those surreal things. Anyway, it does stuff. You can zoom in, you know. It has a little movie. You press a button, it takes a movie. USB. You plug it in here, and then you can plug it in your computer real easy. I could plug it directly, but then I want to have something under it to support it so it doesn't, you know, twist out the USB port. So I got the little ding-a-ling here. Works great. Then I upload my videos, my pictures, whatever the hell. And this takes real nice photos of the whole coin, whereas the one you see, Screen and Me, there you go. Whereas this one over here takes good pictures of details. You want to show the whole coin. You really want to get a whole coin image. Let's see if we can zoom that out. Once you start using these, give me something. Here's something. Once you start getting into the deeper magnification, you take a good looking coin and make it look hideous. Because people are looking at this and saying, oh my God, he's got a giant, huge gouge on his nose. Well, it's not really all that huge, being, you know, the front of his nose is about a millimeter. So you're talking about a half a millimeter mark. There are times to take a good picture and times to take a wide scale. If you're offering RPMs and such, or you want to show the mint mark is where to go. That's a 1940. Give me something with a mint mark. I can't see nothing. What do we got here? There we go. Here's a 1958D. You want to show somebody that's a genuine mint mark, you show them the darn mint mark, and you can get right in. A lot of those early dates, 1910S, you know, 14D, you want to show them that date in crystal clarity, because a lot of them are faked. Do I have any out here? No. No. I don't have much for fakes. I sold my fakes to a guy who collects fakes. Okay. Well, that's a good way to do it. But if I want to sell this coin, you know, as a regular 1958D, I don't want to show all the doo-doo. And this isn't too bad, but some of these images, you make them too darn big, and it ruins the sales. Ain't nobody going to buy that. It looks like crap. There you go. Here's a little tiny ding on the side of the weed ear, and that's a contact mark. That's circulation damage. This coin is, I mean, it's XF to begin with. You're going to have some marks, but too much magnification will screw up it just screws the pooch. What's wrong with that? Oh, well, if you take a wide area photo, not a whole lot. Let's zoom in on that. There you go. And a wide area doesn't even show up. Well, it hardly shows up. But another problem with these microscopes is it doesn't show. Here's a 2016. Now that baby is brand new out of the roll, right? 2016. Let's see if we can get some. You know what they look like. You know, they're still pink. But when you put them under the camera, it doesn't look full luster. You've got blotches, blemishes. Well, this one's got a fingerprint. It doesn't show the luster, right? It shows a flat surface because of the way the camera software or the photographic software adjusts the brightness. I can increase the light, right? I got this cord over here. I can change the light, but if you watch the image, it adjusts to make up for the light. Too much light, turn the light up again, it adjusts it right back down. I adjust light down, it balances. I'm not winning here. I'm not getting and increasing the brightness. I'm not changing the shadow here. The software is frigging me up. Quit it. Well, gives enough light. It doesn't run up my light bill, and I can see. Well, that's where you need that bigger camera to show the luster on that coin. Now I can twist it, all right, and that does some help in showing off the luster on that coin. But that's not really the answer. The answer is a better camera made for, a wider area. That little guy, this thing, that's made for zooming in on the details. You can't sell a detail coin when they're, when you're offering what's this one? It's a 1960 small date. And that baby's gorgeous, right? Maybe you can see that. That is brilliant uncirculated. That's about MS63. Okay? Yeah, easily. I'm going to open that up. I ought to have some gloves on, so I'll scoop it with this. See that? You can scoop them up. I don't know if you can see that. What's that camera? It's in there. And I'll come over here and slide it on that tray. And there is a 1960 small date. But it doesn't show the luster so good. Yeah, it kind of looks good, but the detail you can get in and see. Oh, where are we here? Some of these die scratches, which are on the die, they're in the penny. If I want to show the luster, I've got to sparkle that baby. Right, take a successive group of photos before I post it. Oh, that's where the Bloggy comes in handy. I can do a 10-second clip on this coin and move it around and show the luster, and that's where this baby really shines. And I'll put that 10-second clip up with the coin listing. Alrighty, that's that one. I'm gonna put that away because it's one of those really shiny ones. Please wear gloves. Yeah, I only state the rules. I don't follow them sometimes. There we go. And I get a few of those. That coin is for sale, by the way, for $5. If anybody wants it, just send me an email. It's right up here. And what's this one now? And I'll throw in this 58D with it. And this 46. So $5, you get all three coins. And it's $3 for shipping. And you want the 2016, I'll throw that in, but you got to say it because I'm gonna drop that in the bucket. Oh, well, I got it here. Let's look at it for double dies. You see anything different about that RTY? Zoom. Too much. Oh my God, what's that on his head? That looks straight, right, and tight. How about the bottom of that Y? Does that look straight or is that slightly angled? We better look at this. Let's pull up Wexler. Wexler has the best listings for modern double dies. And this is going to take, this is my backgammon game. This is going to take a week to load. I think I was winning that game, by the way. We all need our distractions. That's mine. Okay, Wexler's double dies. This is normal loading for me. My sister's, boom, it's been on the screen for 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to come down here on the bottom left. If you can see my mouse. Let me see if you can see my mouse. There we go. I'll wiggle around a little more. I get double die listings. And then we load another page for another 10 minutes. That's why it's good to live stream late at night. I'm the only one around. I'm the only one on. And it's going to free up some space on the bandwidth. And we got Shield Scent double dies. I'm going to wiggle my mouse for a minute, see if you can see that. I got to get a few frames going so you can see that because I've been going too fast on these streams. Damn, I got a mosquito in here. Did I leave a door open somewhere? That one's shut. This one's shut. Okay, look out back. Okay, 2016. Always have a video going so you can, watch. Okay, 2016, double dies. Number 1, big fat Y. Let's look at mine. Not a big fat Y. Right? RTY is where they show up. These are supposed to be, single squeeze. Now, if you don't know what single squeeze is, they used to do they got the master, yeah, the working hub, and they take the working die and they warm it up, and they take the master hub or the working hub and jam it into the die so that it would leave an impression, and then they make the coins out of that. In the single squeeze error, they do it once. Well, looking at the number of double dies we're getting, they're not doing it once. They're doing it repeatedly to get a good image. Over here we have this good thick Y, nice thick robust T. I mean, I think it's a good design, but I'm not seeing it on my example over here on the left side of the screen. Okay, go on to the next one. Now, it's not as thick, and you can see the bottom of this, of the Y. And you're looking for repetition on these two, on the RTY. And they show up there because it's closer to the center. And that seems to be where it'll appear the most. Okay. Boy, that's really delicate to get that focus right. Now, in Wexler's example, he's got a slight edge, a little bit of a tilt. And I think mine is similar, but I'm not really sure that's I'll have to look at that. Let me, one moment, please. Nah, that ain't nothing. Okay, that's nothing there. I can't see with the glasses or without them. Let me pull that back up. And you can scroll through several more of these. Here's a Y, it's got a different angle. That's why this oak gets a different die. But some of these don't go into the different die stages. Because over time, you've seen it, die chips, die cracks, over time they're going to change their shape. Because that die is getting beat on. I mean, you're pounding it into these coins 10 times a second. It's going to wear. So the die markers on early stage dies are different from die markers in late stage dies. And likewise, your design details are going to change. See the thickness on the, what is this one, number 5? Here's a number of it right up here. Number 5. We just go. But this is the extra thickness we're talking about. Remember, the hub that goes into the die is an imprint just like the coin. The die itself is going to be, sunk into the die. So when you slam it once, you put in that impression. When you slam it again, slightly tilted, it's going to leave an impression. But instead of, 2, sometimes it just hits it real close, so it's wider. Stick your thumb in a jar of peanut butter, leave a fingerprint, and then do it again just off to the side. What you're going to end up with is a wide finger mark in the top of the peanut butter. So that's what we're looking for is, oh, this is perfect. Oh, this one's perfect. So what you're looking for is added width. That's what the doubling does. Now here we got the DDO number 6. All right. And if you can see this, okay. Let me see if you can see this. Yeah, I think you can. I'll leave it up there for a moment. What you're seeing here on the left side, now a lot of people are going to call this mechanical doubling. Plus, you have the thickness. So you get 2 things going on here. Yeah, this is a double die, without a doubt. And the example shown here is showing a secondary type of doubling. Now, this one in particular, if you look at it, you realize that's not really mechanical doubling. It is a kind of a flat shelf, but it's at the field. Now, this is key. I can pull up I got to find an MD coin now. Mechanical tends to be higher up in the device. It's going to be halfway up on the Y or the T. This die deterioration is right at the field. There's no real elevation to it. That's where the metal flow affects the die the most, is right at that surface. And that's a key indicator that what you're seeing here is a double die caused by double hubbing, and you've got die deterioration. And if you check this, you'll see it radial, out from the center. And that's a perfect example there. And here's a big fat one with a tiny slope. You can go through. Oh, here we go. Die markers. Let's say there's another one that looks just about like this. Right? You've got these markers on your coin. Every die has marks on it. Maybe something got in there at some point. They're making 10,000 coins a second or a minute, and here's a speck of metal from farther back in the process. It'll leave just a little gouge on that die. And up here, if you can see this one, and I hope you can always just load up Wechsler and take a look. This is what number is this? Number 7. You got a die gouge right beside the T. Now, if you match up your coin to what Wechsler has, you're looking for these die markers. Because it was made with that die, it should have that die marker. Unless, of course, it's a different, early stage of the die. But that's how you can determine what stage you have. Over time, that gouge may not exist, then it appears, then it changes over time and dwindles down and goes away, like melting ice. Here's a great one on the back of that shield. Let's see if we get anything on my example. You get these stress points in your coin. No, of course I've got nothing on my example. Right? Remember the Lincolns with a memorial back? You got all these cracks would appear right around the corners of the memorial. On these shield cents, you tend to get cracks and chips at the top of the shield. Let me bring that over and I'll give you the finger. No, I'll give you the toothpick. There you go. You get these chips and cracks that will form at the top of that shield, up and on the edge. This one shows no examples of it, but I'm sure I have millions more here somewhere. We get any pennies on this desk? Yeah, but no shields. No matter. These are awesome die markers. And over time, you can watch them change. And that'll give you a gauge. Let's go over the R in unum and pluribus there. That's something sticking out. I can't see a damn thing. No. I couldn't tell you what that is. I'd have to get my bright light going. But these die markers you want to take a look at. What's going on here? That is a spot. But watch them. It'll help you identify the coin. It'll help you identify the attribute, what listing number it is, and go right through. Nobody looks at the backs of these darn things. These letters, the designer initials, a lot of times will be doubled. And I got a couple of those. They're neat. They're not worth a whole lot because nobody really collects them, but there aren't that many. Nobody finds them. They're not looking. Of course, they're going to be kind of hard to find. I'm going to smoke. There we go. But don't give up on your shields. There's a die chip right in there. You see that right below the B? That's a die chip. That'll be raised up. And ways to tell, is it raised or sunk, is look around your desk. That guy, turn on your side light. If it'll turn on. I can't see nothing. And then put a little extra light on there. You see how I'm shining the light on that little die chip, and I'm seeing bright light on the edge, on the outer edge. That helps me know that it's raised. Now, if you cast a light and it shows up on the inside edge, opposite from where you're shining, that would tell you that it's sunk in. Let's see if we can see that sort of thing on, let's see, from the right side on the letter U. See how the light is showing up on the left side of the devices when they're sunk in? That tells me you're shining a light on something that is stamped into the metal. It's in incuse. Whereas if it's raised, this is perfect. Like on the side of that shield, it's on the outside of the shield, so it's hitting the object and reflecting. If it's in incuse, it goes past the object, then hits the far side of it, because that leading edge is going to be shadowed when you put a light on it. There's all kinds of ways to play around it, detect. This is sleuthing. I'm going to look at the chat, see what people are saying. Just because I'm paranoid. How do I get there? There it is. There's SJ. She says good. Lutz Faru has showed up. That's how you pronounce it, by the way. Lutz Faru. I'm going to scroll back a little bit. 6 people watching. Oh man, I could do a late show more often. Lutheru is mentioning PhotoGrade. Okay. Bookmark this. Well, I'm about to give it to you. PhotoGrade online. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to give you this link. Maybe it'll work. This is PhotoGrade. We'll pull that up, and you can take a look at your coin and compare it to their pictures. Right? You're looking for the best one they have that's, you know, as good as yours at least. If yours is better, well, you know, you have a starting point. If their picture is better than yours, your coin isn't that good. You can't say, well, it's almost an XF, because that's not XF, that's VF. Let's get in there and have a look. PhotoGrade. Here it is. Look, I've got a penny here. It's a 1937. Okay, the camera's on. There's a 1937. Let's zoom out so we can get a look at this and decide what grade it is. Now, you guys are going to grade this. I should have this for coin class. In fact, I think I'll do this for coin class. That'd be great. There's the 1937. There's that 16 with the fingerprint and shit. What the hell's that on his head? Oh, man, I got doo-doo here. Oh, it's just a big splotch of crap. Crap is also in the book as a technical term. Yeah, give it one wipe. And the crap goes away. Well, most of it. Okay, what would you call this for a grade? I'm going to tell you right now, that baby is fine. And probably on the high side of fine. Some would call it very fine. Okay, yeah, maybe. But let's look at that face. If I got a very fine coin, I want to see separation of his cheek and jaw. And I barely have it here. Remember I showed you that card I put that on? Oh, let me see if I can see what you're seeing. That button? Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, you got the coin here, and I put it on that card, and because the card is wider than the coin, a small adjustment, a small lift on one side is going to give me a small change in the angle on that camera. So I can, just with a little bit of effort, let me set that down, just a tiny little nudge, I can change the angle of the light coming in on that, and I can see more detail. Now, if you see in front of Lincoln's ear, when that camera is flat, when the coin is flat, well, you can't see much. I got 2 dimensions to work here, left and right. But your eyeball is going to help out when you go to moving it, and you start to see, you know, some texture to this. And you can see I've got a dark area in front of that ear, which is separating. You go up by his nose also, which is just starting to separate his cheek and jaw. So this says high side of fine. If that was flat all the way across, that's fine and no better. And we can look at the back. Okay, how sharp can I make this? On the back for fine, I want to see probably half of the wheat lines. I don't want to see most of the berries. Well, that's as much as I can zoom in that direction. Let's try this direction. This is a really delicate changing the focus on these. I've got pretty much full lines, although it seems to be some, you know, some grunge and crap and doo-doo going on in there. But the berries, all of them are distinct and separate. On this side, pretty much you can make out every berry and point to every berry. So this would be low end VF. Yeah. I got good hair. Lincoln has some good hair. I mean, you got to admit, a big tuft of it. Now let's look at PhotoGrade and see what they say. What the hell's this? That's BCGS. That can go. What's this? That's Wexler. He can go. PhotoGrade. I'm going to pick out cents. This is going to take forever to load. I'm going to pick out Lincoln cents. Come on in, Lincoln. Down to the bottom, you got some little dots. I'll have you get back to. That didn't work. Help you get to where fine VF is. There we go. You think your computer's slow? baby. I had faster speed in town on dial-up. Okay, let's have a look at VF20. Okay, because that kind of looks like mine. Put up my picture right beside it. There it is. There's my picture and there's their picture. Now in the photograde, let's look at the high points. Bow tie, ear, cheek, and jaw. All right, here's the eyeball. You've got good detail below there. He's got a temple, which a lot of times you can judge the gauge of a coin just by looking at the temple on Lincoln. It's right here. And remember, give it a little twist so you can see the shape, because if you get more wear on that temple is going to go flat. But I got pretty good detail on that temple, and that's a fair match for photo grade. Now I don't know if you can see what I can see, so let's look. How do I make that work? There we go. Now on the bottom of your screen, you can see the bottom of my screen, and you can see that PhotoGrade is calling this VF20. There's my picture. Okay, that's what this image is. Now I can go through. Let me drop that down, and I've got some arrows on the left and the right. I'll go left. Look at a less nice. This is VF20. That first one we looked at, there's VF25. Okay, the VF20, we'll compare that to what I got. Okay, let's look at the temple on mine. That isn't working, how come? Okay, we're gonna reload that. That's what we'll do. Now his temple's not as distinct. He's got a little more at the ear. Cheek and jaw, I'm seeing almost no separation. Maybe a little bit here behind the lip, heading up towards the ear. All right, let's load up my picture again here. How to grade coins. Yeah, we'll give the whole picture here. All right, let's look at this. He's got a pretty crisp line right here behind his eye. I got a pretty crisp line on my example. His earlobe is clear on PCGS. Mine's clear. And let's look for separation. I've got not a whole lot here on my example. That's not a bad match at all. I think the 25 has more detail than mine. The VF20 is the best match so far. Okay, we're going to go back to PhotoGrade, and we'll go back one more, and we're to Fine 15. Now this guy, his face is flat, right? It's got sharp edges, got a good clear jawline on the bottom, but it's flat. There's no separation between the cheek and the jaw. His ear, she's worn, he's worn, it's worn. And his temple, pretty much down one nub. You still make out the ear. So my coin is better than their fine. So now I've got to narrow down to this VF20 and this VF25. Okay, that's great, but pretty much it's a VF coin, but it's on the lower end. Look at the back. I've got to kill this. Now we're looking at VF20, the one on the left, and VF25 is the one in the center. Let's look at the backs on these, and we'll start with the VF20 because I think that's where we are in this. I'll flip my penny over, and we'll wait for them to load theirs. Wait and wait and wait. Okay, as you can see, in the PCGS example, the lines are full and complete. The berries, they're distinctive, or they do tend to run together just a little bit. Move that over a little more. On the other side, again, straight, clear lines. Might have a little bit of a little buffing at the end, and the berries are crisp and clear and distinct. The letters at the top, you got a full rim. You'll see some wear here and there, but pretty much everything is distinguishable. And that's about what I've got on my coin. Let's look at their fine. Now this is, on the top end of fine. You'll see the berries are really starting to run together, and you got to focus and try to pick one out. The lines are not complete. Going back to my example, the lines are you can make them, they're pretty much complete all the way across. Look at the other side. Those are complete lines. So if you get separation of the cheek and jaw, or at least a start of it, and you've got full lines and distinct berries, that's pretty much what puts you into very fine. This coin that I have, I don't see a whole lot that's really screwed up. You get a contact mark that's below the end that's a bigger size. It's a circulated coin. You're going to have these. What you're looking for is contact marks that don't gouge out his eyeball or something. I hate to see him on the face. So that's probably a VF20 coin. And if you can't make it out, just set it aside and you'll get a range. What you can do, well, here's a neat one. You get a whole bunch of your coins and you line them up from best to worst. This one's wore out. This one over here is really nice. And you can create your own grading guide. And, you take one and you look at it and say, this one's VF. Okay, you put that down, put a little tag. Yeah, get those little pieces of paper, right? And you take another one, you look at it. So this one's very good, and set that down. And now you have a reference set. So set that aside, and when you have another of your own coins, you can take a look and compare it to your reference set. That's one of those things that have been lost. People used to build a reference set. I probably should get some made. Let's go back to Chad. Did I kill Chad? Am I broadcasting right now? I don't know. Let's find out. Yeah. Wonder what I did wrong here. Can I kill YouTube while I live stream? I don't know. Wow, this is slow. Go back to live streaming. Hello? Hello? Elapsed time 0. Well, this sucks. Okay. I think I might be back. I don't know. Was I gone? Or did it keep live streaming with the YouTube window down? That's what I'm wondering. And how long ago did it quit? That's what I'm interested in knowing. That's too bad. There was some really good stuff in there. 6 people watching. Did I cut out? I think I'm broadcasting again. Did I cut out for like, I don't know, an hour or a couple of minutes? Did you catch the part about setting up your own grading reference set? Crazy Major Bailey here. Did you catch the part in the live stream about setting up a standard reference with your own coins? Well, 6 people hung out. How long was I gone for? Was I gone? I'll cover it again. I was going over the photo grade and how you can set up a bunch of coins. Take 20 of them, set them up worst one to best one. Just line them up right across the table, and then compare what you got in front of you to what's on photo grade. And when you get it right, you can set it down, put a little note, and you can set up your own reference set. This one's fine. This one's very fine. This one's very fine plus. This one's XF. So when you get some other coins later, you can compare it to what you've already graded and say, this new one, that's very good, or whatever. Hopefully it's much nicer. I streamed through that. Get the hell out. Was it faster? Did it lag? Can I kill YouTube and still stream? And then I'm not, that might work. Oh boy. Just a couple of minutes. Well, that works. But you can do a reference set, and I'll have to I've got to talk about that in the class. Give me some notes I can take here. I get a pen. Yeah. There's no end to this class, I tell you. Oh, class. Class, we'll do a build a reference set. There you go. And that works for anything. I mean, you can take buffalo nickels and set those up and line them up and decide this one is good and that one over there is very good. And then the ones in between, well, are they good or are they very good? At what point does it make the jump into the next grade up? And you can make that determination because grading is subjective. And we'll do, yeah. So all those people that are watching this stream, you're going to get like a repeat. Yeah, this is just practice. Can we see the picture here again? Yeah, I'm showing you YouTube, like you need to see that. Okay, there's the, there's that coin. Let's see what else I got behind me. Where are we on this? Okay, we got the desktop. We got me. See how this is backwards? This is my right side. That's my left side. No, that's not. Yeah, it is. See, I see it. I'm pointing over here. Oh, man, this is some neat stuff to play with. This live streaming is rather new on these YouTube channels. Some people have been doing it for a while, but they're, what, a year old, 2 years old? Not that many of people have seen them, and even fewer have tried it. So everybody's reinventing the wheel for themselves each time they do it. What was that? Oh, that's nothing. I get so much stuff on this desk. Good Lord. Everybody's reinventing the wheel. There's no standard operating procedure for anyone. And, well, we all figure it up as we go along. See if I can catch up in chat. I saw something about buffering. I was gone for a few minutes. Now, Oldie says I wasn't gone. Crazy Mater Bailey says a few minutes. Maybe it's just that time spent lagging. I don't know. Cut out multiple times, says Anthony Goodley. Well, no matter. Apparently it wasn't too long, so you didn't miss much, and what you did miss probably wasn't important anyway. Okay, let's try to clean this stuff up. I got these pennies from Justin Couch. I gotta go through those. He wants a shout-out video. I'll give him one, but I'm gonna take his pennies and find something awesome and then give him a shout-out. Okay, here's an old flip. That gets thrown away. What are these quarters? I don't know. Oh, it's the Virgin Islands. You guys finding any of these? I seem to get a bunch of these. Oh, you know, now and then. Do you keep them? Once they're circulated, they're kind of done because you can get a whole BU roll for maybe 25 bucks. That's not too bad. But you got to fill them anyway. So I've been putting together this a spreadsheet to cross-reference everything. We're talking Wechsler, copper coins, Variety Vista, Browning, Snow, Cohen, everything. It'll be a big project, but all these books back here need to be cross-referenced, and we're working on a standard attribution nomenclature because what Konicka's got a DDO number 1 for this year or that year, and it's different from Wechsler's DDO number 1 because they both find it and they call it number 1. Sometimes they'll give a cross-reference, matches Wechsler number 17 or whatever the hell. Well, you need a standard reference number so people know what the hell is going on. Because there are some of these things, because of those extra die stages, that doesn't look anything near, you know, the first 8th die stage doesn't look like anything at all like, you know, the 5th die stage, but it's the same darn die. So that's one thing we're working on. And today I've been entering into this database. You don't do quarters? Oh, you're going to love this. Okay. This one is just the state and ATB quarters. How many are there? How many would you say? Take a wild guess. Type in numbers. That'll keep you busy. Well, I realized I can take my quarters and I can look through them. and then roll up what I don't use and pay for gas. Man, pennies, I got to roll them up. They always hassle me. What are you doing with all these pennies? When I take them back to the bank, well, same thing I did last time with them, dear. Why do you need to ask? None of your fucking business. Okay, so the quarters I can go through and build a complete set. I can't see this. Okay, you got 1999 when the state quarters start. You got the P, the D, the S, and what's that? Oh, the silver. So you get PDS proof and the silver proof. That's one. You got 5 for each year. Once you get into 2005 to 2010, you get 2 more for the P and D satin. Okay, and you get 5 of them. This has been going on for what? 17 years. They got them planned up till 2021 anyway, with all the national parks and stuff. How many total? It's over 500 quarters in 20 years. They're just pulling your crank to make you buy more quarters. They're selling metal bits for 25 cents a piece, or more than that. But if you want to put together a neat set, you can do this out of circulation. Here we go. I'll pull this one up. That's in a vinyl flip. I can't see it. That's a cheap flip, so that's going to have to go. See how flexible that is? That'll have to go. And I put them in pages, and I got a little binder, and hey, it don't cost nothing. It's a quarter. But if you got 500 of the darn things, it's going to cost you $150 for the flips, for the pages, for the notebook, and for all the quarters. You can pay face value. Come on, it's a scam. Well, that's a government. But it's one of them neat things. It'd be more valuable once you get the the proofs and the satins, and if they're all uncirculated stuff. I got another one here for. I'm gonna have to stand up. See, this is why I put on pants. There you are. What the hell is it? Here it is. Yeah. I'm back. Did you miss me? I know you missed me. Okay. So this one is I think I got it at Walmart. Might have been $5, $6. All right, it's a binder. Got the little pocket in the front, but it's got it's got the cover where you can put a sheet in there, so you can print it off. And that one says Lincoln cents. You can do one for the back and stuff. These are just Lincolns, but the same idea as with the quarters. You get the pocket pages, and you make your own album, so you don't have to deal with the nickels that fall out of that album from 1958, and you can fill it right up. Set up any one. You want the the proof set. I got the proofs all the way in the back on this one. Some of them. So you just look at the look at the various proofs, and that works. So you're looking at 20 pages just on this one. Jesus. But the price isn't bad if you do the math. 20 pages, figure a quarter for each page, plus the cost of the notebook. It's cheaper than these Danskos. And then you can take the penny out. You can put it back in. I think I'd like to get the thumb cut. What do we got here? There's a 2004 S proof. All right. Let's have a look at that here. And that's real pretty, Let me set that in my lap. All right, if I got a better example, I take the old one out, put the new one in. And you can put together a fine, handsome set this way. You can do it, a page at a time, so it doesn't break you. Let me put that right back in where it goes. You can set it up any way you like. There you go. If you just want wheats, that's a hair. I do want it. There it is. Well, it's not mine, I tell you. It can't be. But this is a good way to set up your collection. You can do the whole series this way if you want to. You can have one book with everything. I got that other one. I got that one at a secondhand shop, but it's got a steel hinge. That's nice. But the pages tend to stick out because the D-ring binder is so darn big. But I like the steel hinge, which is real nice. And this one, the Walmart binder, this is real handy because it's got the little pockets inside, but the way you open them, it's got the little lever you just pull. And ready? Watch this. Doesn't work. Oh, man, doesn't work. Oh, it's upside down. Oh, it's got the green button. Press the button, and they look at that. Look at it. That's nice. And they close that way, so you're not wrenching these things. You're not bending them when you pull them apart with your hands. So that's going to give us some added life. But you're only talking, $5, $7 or something for a folder. And the thickness of the binder on this, it's a smaller one inch instead of that giant 3-inch. So the pages don't travel that far. See how the distance when you flip from one side to the other, it's only going across 1 inch instead of 3 inches. So you're getting less wear here at the holes in the pages, and that's an advantage. So try it, but you see the length because of the small ring, the pages fit inside the notebook without sticking out. So go with the smaller rings, although that steel one is real nice. Yep. I'm going to catch up on some chat. Let me give you something to stare at. Here's what's handy. Oh, here's a Kennedy. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. You see the problem with these? You get the glare. You get these 6 dots. Here's that camera. You get these 6 dots. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 8. Oh man, I must have got a bargain. Okay, you get the dots from these LEDs showing up on that plastic, and you can take a picture of that. Look closely at his head. You can see the detail. No, you can't. No, you can't. You can see nothing because he's inside the flip. You got to take him out of the flip, and you can take a photo. But then I need another flip. Now, because they're disposable and single-use, the cardboard flips are more expensive than the unplasticized. Now, if you want some, I've got some coming. Good, excuse me. Good Lord, when does that get here? I can pull it up with my email. Email, right there. Yeah, this'll make it lag. But I've got some coming. Should be here probably Friday, a couple thousand more. Oh man, this is just going to take forever. Skip it. It'll be here Friday, okay? But I got a couple thousand, and 100 of them, $8 and $3 shipping, and you're good. The problem with those is the weight, because at 200, the weight goes. What is this? Are we still on YouTube? Oh man, I think I screwed it up again. This thing is so darn picky. Huh. I don't even know if I'm live. I got no idea. It's coffee time. SJ, you can't go. I'll end up playing backgammon for 8 hours. Anthony says, Ken got me lucky. All right. No, at BU pennies. Pull from pocket change at almost. Did I tell you about the BUs? Where's my, I got a box here. Oh, man. Okay, you're going through your pennies, you pull them out. All right. I got a box here, if you can see it. I'm going to see if I can see what you're seeing. I might not even be broadcasting. I killed it again and I ended up somewhere else. Yes, you are. Okay. Here's a box. Let me see. What the hell is this? Okay, there you go. It's a, it showed up from Amazon. I don't know what was in it, but there it is. I just cut the tops off. I got a box. Now, what makes this box special Let's see. I got some dividers in here to help me, keep it organized. It's just I bent it in corners so it doesn't fall over. It'll stay upright. Okay. And when I find those BU coins, they go in these bags. Like here's 2,000. That's not a whole lot of them. Alrighty. 2000D. Yeah, there's some nice ones in there. But you can put together your own B rolls, but you got to make sure they are B. There's 2003D. I'm a little light there. It's a bag. Well, you don't have to use the bag if you don't have any yet. You find as you get closer to modern day, of course, here's 2016D. We don't get a lot of those around here. Here's 2015. There you go. You can put together your own BU rolls, Geez, I didn't get to the bank last year. I don't have any BU 2016s. You can put your own together, but they got to be BU. All right? Just being shiny, don't make them BU. And let me stick my bare here. Just grab one that's a penny here. I'm going to touch this one up. Ta-da! Okay, put that under the scope. Move aside, Mr. President. Where the hell is it? There we go. Now put that under the scope here and take a look. Is it BU or is it AU? Okay. Remember what I showed you about tilting this guy to the side? You can put this on your desk and look at it with a light, and she'll look real good. I mean, you're looking at the top of the ear, the cheekbone, especially that one point. I got a stick here. There it is. You're looking at that one point right behind the eye, right below that shadow here, below the point. That's just about the first place you're going to see some wear show up. You're looking at the high point of the bow tie. You're looking at along the vest, the whole of it, all the way down. Right? You're looking at the shoulder, especially the back rear of the shoulder where it stands up the most. And then the back, of course, you're looking at this. Oh, no, you're not looking at the steps. Where are you here? But you're looking at the highest points and the center points. This ridge here, right in the center. And this is really tough to show because you don't get where it's going to look kind of the same. Is it circulated? Is it uncirculated? You can change the way the light hits it. If you go with indirect light, you may see some gray areas showing up. See the difference in color here? Let me get this one. Oh, I know. Yeah, these are the ones I've already checked and rejected. Oh, this one's perfect. Perfect. Okay. That's a 2015. And you got a little bit of contact on this one. You'll see it in the lower jaw, right along in here. Okay. Back of the shoulder. Right on the back of that shoulder. This guy, hey, it's got full luster, just like the 2015 beside it. Right, I mean, it's bright red, cartwheels. But one's BU and one ain't. Okay, this one is good for a penny, whereas this one is, good for a little more than a penny. But a lot of the years, as you get back, the modern ones aren't so bad because you can still get them out of bank rolls that are uncirculated. But with each passing year, of course, there's going to be fewer and fewer, and they go down real quick. 2014, you're not finding many at this point. If it's been out there, it's been circulated. So you get, you go buy BU rolls, but you can assemble BU rolls. These go, what do we got here? There's 1991. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 in there out of, 50 boxes. It takes a while, but you can put them together. But these look great in folders. Where the hell is this one? Okay. I got the folders here, and I got more coming if you want them. People like these; they're real pretty. I'm filling up with BU. When I get the roll, I fill them up, and these are beautiful. These are wheats. And then this last page is memorials, right? Now I find when I put these BUs the way I pick them out, when I fill this last page with BU memorials, I'm going to sell this book for, $5 to $10 more. That's no shit. And there's 30 of them. Well, you do the math on that. That's 15 cents a coin. So this one over here, this one's worth nothing, a penny. This one over here, well, maybe not that particular date. That one's good for 15 cents, 5 cents. It's more than those wheats. People pull these wheats out of there. Where's that bit here? And I got them, Justin Couch pulled these out, sent them out as a prize, and that's a great prize. And people pull those out, and they're good for about 3 cents. These BUs are good for 10, 15 cents. They're throwing the money back to the bank. There's a lot more in there than wheats. I made a whole lot more. Let me look at one of these. Okay. 1944. Real pretty. And it's good for, 3 cents. Because maybe 4 cents. You put together a roll of common wheats. There's a lot of them out there. $2, $3 a roll. Okay, 6 cents a piece. Whereas these BUs that go into those folders are added 15 cents or more. That's where the money is. It's not in the common wheats. They're a bonus. But for me, finding those wheats is just, an add-on. It's just an advantage. I got a sack of the darn things over here. That freaking spider. That mosquito's back. I'm going to have to burn this place to the ground. Guys, I got to go. I got to burn this place up. You can do good coin roll hunting, but you got to go through a lot of them and know what to pick out. And that's pretty much everything. But even the views at 15 cents a piece, even those aren't that great. The money's in the varieties. Oh, good Lord. So here's a look at this spreadsheet I'm trying to put together for cross-referencing all the varieties. You're seeing this? Yes, you're seeing this. So you've got, Konica, Wexler, Copper coins, Crawford, Breen, Cudzon coins. FS is 5as and Stanton, Cherry Picker's Guide. And, well, who do you prioritize? Because I want my numbers to match theirs. So we'll prioritize Konica because they're close to what I'm trying to do. And there we go. So white has been verified. Gray, I need to verify it. And these are just the Lincolns. Then you got Jefferson's, Roosevelt's, Washington's, Kennedy's, and your modern dollars. There is a huge, huge, huge amount of work in figuring this out. What's this one? 1968. Konica has 2 business strikes and 7 proofs. Wexler has 4 business strikes and 2 proofs. These are just for DDOs, the double diverses. Copper coins has 8 business strikes, 2 proofs. Jesus. So I'm going to take and cross-reference all of these. Yeah, what am I thinking? I mean, really, that's a multi-year task right there. I'm going to scroll back and chat for just a bit. Oh, here's something to look at. SJ saw something. I don't know what. Lude says buffering constantly. Yeah, I can imagine that. I'm 2 weeks behind the rest of the world here, so in a couple weeks the buffering should stop. I think I'm still streaming. What's the strength of my signal here, by the way? We can look at that. It's orange. I'm going to see green. Red is bad. 801 kilobytes. Are you seeing this? 801, 141 kilobytes per second. You didn't even hear me say that. Yeah, this is as good as it gets. Well, Sylvia got off, so you want to see something at night, this is about it. Stream health, it doesn't even say if it's good or bad or what. There's 6 people watching, a couple of messages a minute. That's not too bad. It gives you something to do. Now, I originally tried to start cleaning off that desk. That's going to be something to do. Spiders. She said, you got spiders too? Man, We're going to keep them spiders out of the bus. I'm thinking like a foot wash. There's a way to do it. We're going to get the bus, okay? I mean, you can get these buses for cheap. The government said if you want buses for your schools, you got to have seat belts to get these federal grants. So all the counties across the freaking nation, every goddamn one of them says, we're going to get them federal grants, and we get new buses. You know, their buses are already 5 years old, which is nothing, except the kids aren't so good on them. They said, we're going to get them federal grants. So, you know, let's get only buses with seat belts, and they apply to get the money to get the buses with the seat belts. But they got, it is a spider, Jesus Christ. It's just a little one. So every county out there, every school district, every SAD, you know, school administrative district, I don't know why they call it that. They call it SAD. Every school department, they're dumping their buses and getting the grant so they get new buses. I mean, all of them. There's 36,000 school districts and they need new buses. Pay us. And the government starts paying. They just write the checks. They just print the money and write the checks. And everybody's got new buses. But the old buses are coming out. They're going to Craigslist. They're going to auction house. You can pick up, we're talking 72 seaters. You know, it'll fit 72 little kids. Count the windows. They're full-size 53-foot buses. They got 35 feet behind the driver or something like that, whatever the hell it is. About as wide as a bus, about as long as a bus. The big ones, though, 15, 16, 17 windows. And you can get them for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. No problem at all. They don't have that many miles. And it's usually, you know, all the same miles. It's not like they're going full-wheeling on the darn things. Misfit has joined us. Hello, good to see you. We're just, you know, rambling and talking. Anyway, you got the buses. You got to take them apart. You got to clean out, you know, the seats and stuff. But you got all the space in there. You can do whatever you want to with. You can take out the windows. You can leave the windows. You got a good solid floor. You got the two humps that, you know, right in the middle where the heater is. If you're from up north, you know where that is, about halfway back. Okay, you can leave that. Sometimes you got humps at the wheel wells out in the back, you know, where you got the big bumps. But it wouldn't take much because a lot of undercarriage space in there for adding tanks, your black water, gray water, fresh water, and whatever else you need, you know, batteries, so you get a power system. But you bolt up some solar panels on the roof. You got, you know, electricity when the thing's not running. You can draw some electricity when it is running. But it wouldn't cost 10, 12 grand, and you got a bus with a bathroom, a kitchenette, you know, maybe 4, 5, 6 bunks, some, you know, a table where you can eat your stuff, or a couple of couches or something so you can be social, and then tour the country, right? You go from, you know, up to a national park one day, next day you go into town, do your laundry, stop at the bank, pick up some penny rolls, right? Maybe go to a coin shop or a coin show, flea market, and you drive another hour or two, you know, park at the river for the night, have a barbecue. But boy, that'd be a hell of an adventure, I think. You could do live streaming every day and show what, you know, show people where you are and what you're doing. Talk about all the stuff you found in the pennies, all the flea markets, at the coin markets. Am I live here? Go buy us one. Oh man, I'm broke. I spent all my money on pennies. Look at them. Yeah. But that'd be cool as hell. I did the math, and it would probably take about $400 for a ticket to ride the bus for a week. You know, that'd cover room and board pretty much. You know, you stop every few days at a hotel, so you get a proper shower. You can dump the tank and refill it, that sort of thing. Get your shopping done. But you really want to have a chase vehicle, you know, like an SUV. And if you had a trailer being towed by that, then it gets really interesting because you can fit, you know, tents in there. So now you got 3 to 6 people you can fit inside the bus sleeping in their own bunk. Okay, you got tents, so now you can fit, you know, another 6, 8 people. And so you have the best part of a dozen people cruising along at 65 miles an hour, looking at pennies all day. But you park and you know, you go have lunch or you cook supper right there, make some sandwiches or have a barbecue. I mean, you can fit all this stuff in that that tow behind trailer. Coolers of ice if you're going to do that, or you could have a gas or propane fridge inside the bus. But you'd have to get your groceries every couple of days because there's not a whole lot of cold storage. Not like you got a walk-in freezer on one of these things. It's better than an RV. Wouldn't have to be too expensive. I mean, we wouldn't have tilt outs. My brother's got this camper, and the whole side of it just moves right out, right? He keeps up with the Swanee Music Park. He presses a button, and all of it widens out by like 2 feet. I think it's wider than my house. But we wouldn't have cherry cabinets, I'm sure. I mean, they'd be clean, they'd be decent, they'd be durable. But I'd want to go with lighter weight cabinets. So solid wood door covers might not be the way to go. But I can do a frame with something lightweight, maybe aluminum or some screen. Give it some ventilation because it's going to get warm on these things. So you want to get an air conditioner too. But it would be a lot of fun. Let me look at this here. Turning cold here, says Anthony Goodley. So last month I killed many spiders in my house. That's the beauty of the bus, In the summertime, you drive around up north. In the wintertime, you go east and west through Florida, Texas, Arizona, and Southern California. You don't need none of that cold. Screw that. It gets too hot, you go north. Gets too cold, you go south. What's going on the East Coast? What's going on the West Coast? But, oh man, you can pick up all kinds of shit, right? You go out west, you pick up the pennies are full of vestments. You go out east, you pick up all kinds of pennies are full of peanuts. We'll be a big distribution center. You could sell coins from that. I mean, you could get an internet hookup, or you stop at that hotel or whatever. But there's satellite. I had, where is it? That's not my phone. A few years ago, after a tree fell out in my house, and that's another story, I got online by plugging my cell phone into my computer. As long as I had cell phone signal, I could beam into a tower, and that was pretty darn quick, probably quicker than what I got right now. So cell phones are one way to go, and you can have some boosters so the signal goes to that and then boosts out larger. But that's one way to get online. If you can get online, you can sell, you can broadcast, you can live stream, you can do videos. Now, if you can sell it, shipping is no problem at all. But getting coins in, that's going to be a trick because I get a lot of stuff on eBay. So buying stuff is going to be tricky. There's no, where the hell are you going to pick up your mail? So I'm going to look at that. I'm going to take a minute here because I got to use that bathroom. Okay, everything's under control. All right. Later, I'll take some Geritol. Let's catch up. The Cone 710 has shown up. Everybody give a big round, give it up for a big round of applause for the Cone 710. Am I being difficult? I'm getting this thing lagging on this end, but it shouldn't. I should pause. Yeah, maybe that'll help. Yeah, we're just goofing off. SJ says, I'm a simple gal. A comfortable couch, a fluffy pillow, and porcelain. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for porcelain. There's nothing wrong with a toilet on a bus. A vent would be good because I can destroy a bathroom. I shut the door on that one because I didn't want to melt the screen. Kitchenette's very simple. 8 foot wide would probably do anything you want. You got press, but some countertop space, some cabinets overhead and get the paper plates and stuff because we ain't gonna wash them. We ain't got the water storage. Just throw away your dishes. You have to wash a couple of pots and pans. Make soup or stew or beans or goulash or hell, let's get an oven and have some pizza now and again. But using that grill would be handy because you don't have to clean that off. You just throw it back in that trailer you got behind your chase vehicle. We wouldn't necessarily be off the grid. Them buses, you can get lots of electricity out of there, but you don't need much. Some lights. I mean, everybody would have a bunk overhead is the idea. And of course, there'd be people who would need to use a couch, and that's understandable. But you're talking a table, a chair, like a desk. Wouldn't be much. One on either side of the aisle. You got 3 feet to play with, 3 feet of bunk. But that would work. What do you got? A laptop computer, a USB microscope, a phone charger, anything else? A lamp, and that would be the most of your electricity. And and in the evenings they're going to be watching TV or movies or goofing off, and pass around a bottle of tequila. Daytime is plenty of light. The cone needs to make an appointment with me. Annual proofs book. I picked up 4 more. Oh, huh? 4 more? No. The cone's up in 10 pounder. Yeah, 38 proof the other day. Shows it to me, and I'm looking around. I'm thinking that matches DDO number 1. It's a 1938 proof. I mean, those things are kind of scarce anyway, and he about stole it. But it's showing good matchup with was it Wexler we compared it to or Variety Vista? Well, no matter. 2-day shipping, Sylvia says. Is that for getting coins to the bus or getting coins off the bus? Yeah, because returns are going to be difficult. If you're on a bus and you sell a coin online, because you can get online. They don't like it. You'd have to have a place, to send mail. I'll just send it to my sister's house, I suppose. Yeah, I keep buying stuff, and then we got to go to my sister's house because I'm out of pennies. I'm gonna drive up and visit her. I'm gonna scroll back just a bit to the spider area here. Oldies has to go to California and then back. Misfit joined us. Everybody said hi to Misfit. Spidey looking to get my Mozzie. I don't know what that means. I was born in the 60s. So some of these new terms I don't quite understand. 5,000 to 6,000, yeah, that'll get a bus. We could have a barbecue. Oh, I think I'm caught up. There's still a few people in here. Jerry's joined us. Yeah. So let's see what else is on my desk that needs to be cleaned up. I got piles of stuff here. Piles of them. Now, I don't know what a lot of this stuff is. It's over here. Alrighty, let's look around here. Camera. And we can get rid of that one because I fingered it up. And we can get rid of this one because it's no good. And we got, what do we got? First one we got is a 1962 Canada. Now, what are you looking for here? You're looking for that asset. This is one of those hanging twos. If you look just above that 2, you see kind of an L shape. It's Lizzie's chin, that's what that is. I mean, you flip that right over and see this is what whoops, there it is. This is what's making that L is Lizzie's chin. Okay, the thigh clash. They call it a hanging L over in Canada because Canadians don't know how to collect coins. Okay, here's a 1921. Alrighty, I'll put that together with a few coins and have a package. What would you grade that one? Okay, here you go. Here's your test. All right. Let's see. We've got fairly clear delineation of the jaw and top of the jaw. There is a temple. We've got temple detail. The ear is clear at the bottom. Let's tilt that. I'm just getting the start of separation between the cheek and jaw. Alrighty. Let's flip it over and look. With my pointy stick. I've got most weed lines. I got a bit of a bare spot right under the stick, right in front of the stick. Okay, some weak spots. Look at the other side. I've got most lines all the way up, and the berries are distinguishable. And here, they're starting to get a little less distinguishable. You can still pick them up, but they're getting less distinguishable. Let me look at here. 42, 61, 70, 72. All proof? You got a 42 proof? I want to see pictures. Yep. Everybody's born in the 60s. This is the old farts channel. All the young people are doing stuff like, you know, having fun and pairing off and drinking. Well, one day they'll be here too. All right, what'd you call that 21? I wouldn't give it much more than, you know, F plus. But I wouldn't go as far as VF. And then we're going to add in this booger snot in front of his face, which looks to be damaged. Big contact mark over 21. All right. Yeah, I'll package that with the, some others. Set that aside. I don't know what to do with all this stuff. 52. Yep. Red and brown. Great shape. AU. Got some light contact just above the ear on his cheek and jaw. And on the collar here. Yeah, that's not too bad looking. We should look at this. Maybe this is why it's on my desk. You think? What do you got here? See anything there? I've got a die crack from the 5 to the 2. Nobody cares about die cracks anymore. But what's this behind the D? I raise that up and I've got something going on there. All right, somebody look it up, see what the hell that is. Let me know if I should keep it. Liberty looks good. A lot of people, they look at these, they don't remember to look at the eye. When you're looking at Lincoln's, you check the date and mint mark, right? And I think that's just die crack. You look at his eye, look for that extra eyelid, change your light, wiggle it. You look at IGWT, you look in the T, left and right, under the top bar. You're looking at that. You look at this distension in the other letters. You look at the point of the R. Okay, and what do we got on the inside of that R? I don't know. Let's zoom in and have a look if we can do that. See how I talk quietly? You have to talk quietly when you zoom in. It stresses the delicacy of the operation. And that looks like some doo-doo. Doo-doo. Gonna put it on you. And your sister's like, ah! Yeah. She's still freaked up to this day, poor thing. Okay, Liberty. You're looking at the sides. Now here you got left, right, up, down, and slopes. So you can really get a good look at what's going on in the die if there's any doubling. But you look at the points. You look at where the Y, the top of the Y, and the angle, where those come together. You're looking at that point. Because if it's shifted, that's where you're going to see it. It's on those angles. That's where you're going to see stuff. And you look at the top and the bottom and the side of that L. And what have we got here? You see the inside of the L? What do you make of that? Oldie says, Dustin, Ken is holding it. Dustin here? Yep, Justin's here. Yeah, we're just shooting the shit late at night. Good to see you, baby. So I'm going to take this L, and I'm going to look at that on everything. What's going on the top of that L? Seeing anything? Oh, and another thing, and let's see if I can find, where would that be? On Liberty, you're looking at these curves on the back of I, B, E, R, right? They're going to be curvy. They're not going to be straight vertical. And where's the 34? Let's see, 28? I think I've got some in here that might show you this. Let me find. Where would I find that? Maybe. Like I can't see a thing. You get in and take a look at these letters, and you're going to see patterns and similarities show up. And but they make these coins pretty much in the same way. So these errors and varieties, a lot of times, show up with a similar pattern to them. And this is what it doesn't look like. Look at this other one. I think we got it here. Okay, there you go. This is a what is this? That's a 1934D. This is double die, I think, number 1. I'd have to look it up. What book are we on here? That's number 28. Let's grab up my spreadsheet. Coin spreadsheet. Let's see. Go over to stock. Okay, number 28. Where is number 28? Let me scroll over just a little bit. Number 28. There's that one. And I'm looking around 3792. So we'll scroll down to 3792. Yeah, this don't take one. Can you see this, or are you still on something else? Yeah, you can see this. This is my spreadsheet. Tells me everything I got, where it is, what I paid, how much it's worth, what percentage I paid. No, I've gone way by it. Of retail, and I don't know what that. Oh, and the percent total that coin represents for the folder that it's in. There's WA5, 27. See over here, you got, let's see, in the purple column, it says D4. That's Jansco album number 4. And it says 09 to 21 because it goes from 1909 to 1921. And I'm looking for album number 28. Oh, it's 37, not 27. Let's scroll down fast. Okay, 37. 1934. D. That's this coin, which this says is Konica DDO number 1, and Wexler says it's number 1, and 5S Stanton say it's FS101. I have no idea how they come up with their system. We'll call it a 501. Why? How about call it RPM? Okay, so their 101 is a DDO number 1. I paid, oh, see this number right here? Can you see that being highlighted? Yeah, this is what I paid for this coin. 22 cents for that baby. That's probably good for 10 bucks. 22 cents. See how thick that 3 is, and the 9 and the 4. Now you go compare that with the pictures you see elsewhere, you'll find it. But here, you got these curves, these swoops on the back of the EB, on the BER. When you see that on a coin you're looking at, you set up and give it a hard look. Then you start going after what else does it show up on. You see things like the Wii, right? To the bottom, let me see if I can lift this just a bit. On that bottom E, the horizontal, you have this kind of a hook. That's another telltale trait. But that's the kind of detail you want to get into, is these the bits under the bar of the T. Right? You look at the thickness of the lower loop of the U, and that's where the extra thickness that they talk about starts to show up. You look at the W. How big is the triangle upstairs versus the triangle downstairs, and what should it be on a normal coin? Right? The G, you got that hook on the G, that cross the rip. They look at it on the WAMs all the time. That baby will oftentimes be distended. But if you don't have separation lines, all you got is thicker letters. It's those little details that you're looking for, like the N. The big triangle doesn't cut as deeply because that thing's been doubled in one direction. But when you see these swoops, those swoops that's love right there. You'll love it when you find the swoops. Now this other one, I don't know what the hell it is. I can tell you how much I paid for this penny though. And that's a 1934. That 3 looks mighty thick. I'm going to go back to my spreadsheet over here. And I got 1934. This is set number 28, 1934. This one has been assigned the number LCE622. So when I go to sell it, I know what to do. I'm thinking it's a DDO, but I'm not sure. I paid 4 cents for it, and it's close to DDO number 3 in Konica. And what is that one? It's close to number 5 DDO on copper coins, but it's too worn to make a better identification as a note that I have. Yeah, I go through this stuff way too much. I really need to find a woman. That comes out. Let's look at it again. Is that doubled? That is an awfully thick 3. Right? But look at BERTY. They're not really swooped. But then again, this coin is so damn wore out. How do you tell? Let's look at the E. There's no hook on the bottom. See how deeply the W is, those upper points in the W? Okay, let's look at the G. Well, that hook on the G looks about right. I don't know what's going on with the O. That might be doo-doo. All right, so is it or isn't it? Well, right now it's a 4-cent coin, but if I can identify that further, no problem at all. But I'm not getting anything from Liberty. So this is where the die markers come in. But once you get below fine, it's so tough because, well, everything's wore off. You can't tell. There's no detail. A lot of the detail on these double dies are going to show up at the top. Okay, there's that. But this other one, oh yeah, that's a sweet one. I'm going to put those back in so I don't get them lost. Here they are. At the D, yep. Let me put that in. Now, what I tell you about these? Push them in with a cloth. Remember that? Keep your cloth handy. Your cloth is your best friend. And that's in. And that one's in. Then you can slide these. I don't know if you guys have seen these. I get these old bookshelf albums, right? It's like a Whitman folder, only smaller. And you get 3 pages. The first book is 09 to 1940, PD&S. So you get 90 coins in there. And that includes a 22 plain because everybody fills that hole. And they're real slick. They got the little slides, so you can see both the front and the back, and the slides come off to the side. Okay, I don't know if you can. There, you can hear it if you can't see it. And they're really quite presentable. I mean, you can pay, you know, $7 to $15. I've seen these things selling in good shape for 20 bucks. 20 bucks. I got one of these brand spanking new up at Hobby Lobby for 20 bucks. Maybe not this one, but one just like it. This one goes a little deeper, I think. No, that's right. 09 to 95. And these are real slick. But these have been around. They came out like in the 60s and 70s. They're holding up. You can see what this guy is going to look like in 20 years. They're starting to fray. Oh, where's that one? I did a video on protecting these guys because the albums are valuable here, right? I pick these things up in whole sets and I, a bit on the coins, but it's in the album. I don't bid on, the folders anymore. Oh, there goes. I don't bid on those. You want to sell me coins, a set of coins? I want to see it in one of these or a Whitman or a Dansko because when these are empty, I sell the coins off. I get more money for the album, and that's just one more pickup. But in the meantime, they're really handy. Now, I got a video also on how to protect these guys. Okay, here's one. You can see the shiny cover, and it's a report cover. Here we go. You have my cooperative enterprise business plan, which I put in these nice little report covers. When I had the diner, we put the menus in these report covers, and we stapled them and put the back spline on there, and they kept, spaghetti sauce and butter off the menus. But there's nothing to it. You need a pair of scissors, maybe a razor if you would rather have that, and some tape. And that's going to keep it dust free. You got to slide it around, right? You're going to get it across the floor when you drop it. It's going to help protect that album because, geez, these people buy the albums. So let's protect that. Protect every bit of your investment because if you don't, you're going to have nothing in a few years. And I'm looking for bigger report covers so I can start to do these. Now, Whitman, they have a contract with United States Mint, so the Mint sells these. And these are real nice. These are the new, official U.S. Mint albums. Same idea, 3 pages, right? They're small, and these are coming out, but they're not making enough of the damn things. Same idea. You got the pages with the slides, and everything's printed until you get up to the moderns, of course. But what they've been doing is adding these steel braces at the corners, because these old ones, where the hell did it go? It's already on the bottom. Okay, pull that one up. These old ones, that's where they get beat on the most, is at these corners. They get dog-eared, they get tired, they get worn, and they kind of bend inward. Those little steel braces make a huge difference in keeping that album in better condition. I'd like to see one at the back, at the bottom. That's how those work. And if you want to do albums and folders, these are wonderful things, these little bookshelf albums. But, well, I like the Danskos. They're big, they're heavy, they're manly, they're full of testosterone, and I think they're better quality. They're more dense. Let me catch up on chat and see if you got, oh, I should put something under there so you can look at it. There you go. Yeah, oh yeah, that mint mark. We got to see what that is. Let me catch up with everybody. Hopefully I'm still streaming. Why do they put a spot for the 22 plain on those albums? Well, it seemed like a great idea. I think the owner of the company has a 22 plain, so he's promoting it. Really, they should have a hole for the Whams. It's a much more important variety. It's available. People can get it. And if they were to promote it by putting a hole in the album for, 98, 99, 2000 Whams, those things, they're going to go through the roof. There'll be $20 for circulated examples. But for the 22D without it, in one of these, then it goes from a 90 coin set down to an 89 coin set. But you got space here for 90 holes. So what do you put in? A lot of these albums, sometimes they have a hole just for the wheat reverse. Well, Jesus, just turn the page and there's 30 of them right there. So you got 90 slots to fill. What do you put in them? That's why they put in the 22D. It's promoted. People hear about it. They won't fill it. Maybe they can put in a 22 week. I picked these albums up, and they've had 2 22Ds in them because they stick a 22D in the plain hole. Let me catch up a bit. Jerry Holdridge looking for something. I don't know what. See, Lou's left. Lou's, stay groovy, baby. Dustin and Justin. Justin's going to loan you some money? Man, I could use $5. Okay, here we go. I mean, most people will never own one. Yes, most people will never own a 22 plain. And of the people who do own a 22 plain, not that many people can identify it as a 22 plain, which is why you have the third-party graders. And that's a scandal all by itself. Back in the day, we had to figure out what we had on our own. Of course, we got a lot of Chinese, imitation coins coming over, so the certification does have some value in that. Geez, if you just go over to China and beat up some heads. But there are, 1 or 2 different dies used to make the 22 plain. I haven't done my homework. 1909 SVDB, I can tell you all about those. But do your homework and you can decide whether or not it's authentic and genuine without having to spend $60 to get it slabbed. And then if you want to take a picture, of course, you don't have to pull it out of a slab. That's the trouble with those things. You can't take pictures after a while. They get all scuffed up. Jerry has found a weak 1922D. Outstanding. They like the weaks. I've had them with a weak D, but geez, the darn thing's in about good condition. So how do you tell? Once you get past, below fine, it starts to be difficult to decide if it's a weak mint mark or just plain wore out. Dustin was at a coin shop in North Carolina years ago when a troop master took a Boy Scout in. Well, that's good of me, bought a bag of wheat. And a candy store next door. I'd hit the candy store. You pulled an 1877 out of a bargain bin for $41. I paid $65 for that 1999 SVDB I sold last month. That was a good bargain. Kid didn't have a friggin' buck. You know, I got these nephews that come by. They want coins. They want that buffalo nickel that cost me 50 cents. Yeah, I can get you the buffalo nickel. You want that buffalo nickel? Yeah, I want that front lawn mowed. Boom! Man, it's beautiful. I got my lawn mowed for cheaper than the cost of the gas. Because I got a buffalo nickel. Them kids will work for it. The dealer bought up a huge estate lot of Indian head cents. He took all the low-grade ones and threw them in a bargain. Threw them in! Oh, God! I want to go there. North Carolina? We're taking the bus to North Carolina. Let me poke around and see. I've got a green light on my live stream right now. Oh, wow. How does that happen? Let me look at this thing, because I'm always wanting to know how I can improve this. Oh, look, it's in the yellow sometimes. Let me kill that here. Wow, I'm in the yellow. 601 kilobytes per second. Oh man, we are streaming away. You guys can probably see me move. Get the noise back. How'd that work? Yeah, I'll just mess with you there. Man, there's no coin shop here for, well, there's a guy in town, but he doesn't deal with pennies. And he just wants to buy silver and gold chains from people. You know, they bring it in, he gives them nothing for it, and he says, thanks, and they're all pleased because they got a check for 15 bucks. They can score their crack or their diapers or, you know, give some money to their baby mama. Here you go, baby. I worked real hard for this. No, you didn't. You sold your wedding ring. Go get a job. But I've gone in there. I got one of these albums. I don't know which one it is for 30 bucks. The whole thing's full of pennies, front to back, loaded. 30 bucks. I got the. What'd you take for that whole thing? 30 bucks? All right. Because he doesn't deal with coins. I want to get this back up so you can, you know, have something better to look at besides me. There we go. Now, where was I on these? Oh, yeah, you're looking at the, you know, consistent details across years because these coins are made in a very similar fashion from year to year. Now, over time, you know, 10 years, 20 years, there's going to be some improvements in the technology. But quite often, if you have an error or die variety appearing in one year, it can be repeated a few years later. So you can look at the date, the eyeball, the ear, you know, liberty and our God we trust. And that's going to be where the bulk of your errors and varieties are going to appear. And this one, yeah, that's a die crack. It's what's going on there. Boy, that's hard to see. What was it, like an hour talking about that? 44S, says the cone. I'm going to get some magnets. People could use magnets out there. And then show them how to use them. Dustin mentioned it in his stream the other day, he would collect the steel cents out of a bag by putting a magnet through it. That's brilliant. Of course, these bags they got nowadays don't have any steels. But they used to have, you know, you'd get a bag of wheat for 75, 80 bucks. and you pick out all the wheats. And people did this for 10 years now. There's no more steels in those bags. But it would be handy to have some magnets to work on the magnetic properties of these coins. Show them how it reacts with copper. Show them how it reacts with silver. Show them how it reacts with steel. Boom, it's gone. Uh, that's one thing to explore because there's a whole world of properties that these coins have that nobody really talks about because they're talking about, the grade of, the eagle on the back or the mint mark. There's lots of things to explore here. And we are just starting to get involved in broadcasting about coins. I mean, you could do it 24/7 and never have an end to it. Yeah, we'll do a marathon. I got food, I got coffee. Yeah, we could do a marathon live stream. Let me see if this is working right. I think we're looking good here. 10 people on? 10 people. Oh, yeah, the Canadian pennies. Some of them are magnetic and some of them are not. You got back in World War II, right? They did the same thing with their nickels that we did with the steel cents. They made them out of this stuff called tombac. It's a copper, nickel, chrome, steel, whatever the hell it is. I'd have to look it up. I got one over here somewhere. It's real pretty. But they needed the copper for shell casings because of the massive Canadian Army effort. Well, they did a lot of shipping, so I think they did make a good contribution. They stormed Omaha, or one of those, Sword, Juno. I can't pick on Canada. We need them for a northern protectorate. Man, mosquitoes in Canada. You watch yourself up there. You made $200 in 3 hours at a public park. Were you whoring? Because I think you're really overcharging. Were they just dumping pennies in the ground? Was it under a swing? What were all these? Oh, I'm sorry, SJ. You're reading. I didn't mean to say that. I meant a different word. Modern quarters. Somebody just dumped some stuff on the ground. $200 in 3 hours is good money, I think. Of course, I make no money. For Christmas, I really hope someone gets me a 1974D aluminum cent. I've got a couple here. I'll send you one. Let me write that down. Matter of fact, I want to send that to you. Oop. Yeah, that's got it. What coin would you like to have the most? Now, do you want to have the coin or you just want to look at it and play with it and admire it? Well, where do people keep the coins? Is there some sort of basic need there to gather? Why do we gather these things? I mean, I got a bunch of the darn things, I tell you that, but okay, I do keep some for various reasons. I like them because they're shiny or fancy or old. Where's my girl? I'll be up in this box up here. I like those old bust sets, half cents. I want to get some colonial copper. But geez, those things are $200-300, Lucky Charms. You gonna be Dustin's sugar mama? I thought you were gonna be my sugar mama. We're gonna have to add a bunk on the bus. Yep, they take it. You can't have that. That's ours. He goes to Smithsonian. They open up a new exhibit. Charge $20 a ticket. Hmm. Now you could take your aluminum cent overseas, and then you could keep it. Of course, the IRS secret agents would be banging on the door. No, what is it? Secret Service? They're responsible for that sort of thing. Yeah. If you get the aluminum cent, move to Canada, move to France, or a non-extradition company like, say, Uruguay, or one of those Guays, Paraguay. Where the boys from Brazil were. 1914 V. I don't understand that. 1873, closed 3, double Liberty. I'm going to guess that's Indian cent you're talking about. I'd like to get a 1972 double dial burst number 1 on the cent. I had one before years ago, and I paid way too much, of course. But I, got in a pinch and ended up selling it to pay my light bill. Well, it kept the lights on for a month, but what a damn shame. I took a loss, but hey, at least I kept my beer cold for an extra couple of weeks. What's your favorite series, species? Dayton Gray. Dustin likes the Indians. Sylvia has a penance for the older nickels. I think I like Lincolns and Bust. And 2 cents and 3 cents. I kind of like those 3 cents. They're pretty slick, the 3-cent nickels. Man, I can't keep a 3-cent nickel in the house. I got a couple back here, but they're sold. They're just waiting to be paid for. Okay. There's one thing I could talk about. Let's see. Ooh, this is perfect. Let me find a sheet here. Okay, I take a penny, say this one, 1921S, right? And I'll take pictures of it. Let's see if we got pictures. There's pictures. Okay, and I'll scroll up. Oh, this is a neat thing. We'll get your ideas, because some of you folks are selling coins. See how you're doing your thing. Okay, I took a picture of it, and I'm going to save them on the hard drive over here. And I'll pull that up. Go to pictures, and there's the camera roll. And I'll pull into, there we go. These are the coins that I've already sold. And it's not loading. Okay, different stuff I've sold. Can you see it? Not with this in the way. Yes, you can see that. So what you got here then, and I can kill that, are different coins that I've sold, in the past few months. And every month or two, I'll take that because it's on the hard drive on the laptop, and I'll stick it on the external hard drive. So that way I don't lose my shit. It's happened before. I don't have anything for, August, because this laptop is brand new. I lost, 5,000 photos. But you see, every coin I have has a different ID number. Now, right now, I'm running PJ, and then whatever number, 3 digits. PJ means post job, because I ain't working for the man again. Okay, I sell it. Where's that other list? Oh, this is it. This is perfect. Yeah, I don't have too much shit going on here. Okay. Nope, that's not it. What's this? Nothing. I listed up on CoinOp group, and I've got these wonderful forms. Look, isn't that great? Okay, they're handy. If you don't want to do a form, you can just write it down. Let me pull this up. Here we go. What the hell is this? Put that on the bottom. So I can keep track of what is sold, where the hell it is. All right. You got the lot number, right? That's going to be PJ110. Look at this. I'm pointing at the screen. Can you see this? This will be whatever the hell, letters and number combination is. And I'm going to have a description of the item. It's a 2005 satin cent. Or right here I've got number 393, which is the BP series. That's a 1928S, and very fine. Next column is starting bid or bin. Starting bid if it's an auction, and bin price if it's, buy it now. And that one has $3. Then I get the final price. How much did he bid? Who won the bid? So I got $3 over there because that's the final price. That was sold to a person named Phil. Then I got the invoice once I, transferred over to the invoice, and I got an invoice number on that column. And these are handy. This is all stuff I sold. And this is, I love this. It just keeps on going, right? I mean, it's beautiful. You don't have the printed forms, you can do it right here. There's your ID number, what it is, your starting price, your final price, and who won it. Then over here, I got more notes, which has, have I sent the invoice what the invoice number is, so I can track it that way. PayPal is going to let me organize things further after that, but this, I need to know what's going on with this coin. Once I have it listed, then it goes in these boxes. These great, you can make these. So I've got a coin. I saved that one. That's, what the hell is it? That's PJ010, number I, and that's a 2005 S Saturn. So I've got the ID label with the coin, and that goes in its own slot, but I can pull up any coin because they're in order according to the number it has, and that's on my list. So if I want to find, this guy paid 2 weeks later, and on the invoice I keep that slip number. Oh, where'd that one go? So, the guy has 30 days to pay, because I'll give him that, and I know now when that invoice I print it up, I'm looking for number BP132, right? And this is what I'm looking for, 1936S in VF, and he paid 25 cents. That's probably an add-on something, but some of these are pretty nice. Here's a 1911S, sold for 28 bucks. It's been a couple of weeks. He pays. It's on the invoice because when I do the invoice, I put the description, 1911S, and that number. So I've got the invoice in front of me. I can go back to the boxes over here and pull out whatever coins I need to fill that order. Of course, I screwed up a couple times. I sent some half dollars to God knows where. We kind of got caught up, so I had to issue some refunds. But for the most part, that system works. Let's see if there's any comments on that. Anthony, I too hate the shield reverse. I also despise the zinc plancha. Zincs are worthless. If you got really nice flawless, hold on to those, because all the rest of them are going to be gone in 20 years, maybe 30. We have disposable coinage right now, and they are boogers. I think I've got a roll. Dustin says, imagine buying a huge box of silver 3 cents, all for face value. I got a roll of 2 cents back here. It's pretty neat when you get those. Of course, they don't make paper rolls for 2 cents. But about the size of a quarter. But I got a bunch of the darn things, so I got to get them listed and sold up. Misfit says, I picked up a lot of 800 Liberty Head nickels for 311 bucks off eBay. Jesus, what's that, 30 cents a piece? That's a good price. You can get $1 on those, if they're not screwed up, and 50 cents if they are, and still, that's not it's 40% gain right there. All these has a new discovery, but it is copper. I take care of copper. We can look at it. Dustin's going to bed. Good night. Misfit, yep, I usually pick up some very nice detailed ones and sell off the rest. Yeah. You can find some good deals on eBay. Now you can go back through my list of videos, and I'll pick it apart. And there's methods to the madness. You can't just buy up everything. There are ways to go hunt for better deals. You're looking for the characteristics of the buyers, which the guy's not known. He has a few items but no followers. He doesn't have a whole lot of items. People aren't going to bid on that. People with the stores, the sellers that have the stores, their stuff is getting promoted on eBay. eBay don't care about little guys. They're not going to promote it because they don't bring them any money. So that's where you hunt for the deals. And you got inexperienced people. If the photos are good, you got a chance. But inexperienced sellers oftentimes don't have, great photos. So there is an element of risk in there. But I got to do an eBay, tear them up video where I look at coins that are coming up tomorrow, so people have a chance to get in there and bid on them themselves. I tear it up. You watch my videos. I make some money on the videos, and you can have the coins. Don't get wild. We're going to tear it up around here. Misfit, you're going to have some buffering on my stream because I'm, 200 years behind the rest of society out here. Well, maybe 10 years. Yep. Good Lord, that's 2.5 hours? Now that's more like it. I've been cutting these live streams off at an hour. Yeah, these Zinkans, they're not going to last. They're going to be gone in 30 years. Once they start to, what is it, hydrozincite, once that stuff starts to oxidize, gets exposed, it's going to be just crap. And we're seeing that all the time. I'm around 700. Well, kind of into orange. That's not too bad. Somebody must be up late. Yeah, they're watching movies on YouTube or Hulu. 2 people are watching, and I think I'm going to find something to eat. I'll fry up some eggs. Oldies says, errors in BU shape. They may be worth $1 or $2 unless it's a small date. Double die reverse 82. Right, Ken? LOL. Finish while you were buffering. Yep. Yeah, a lot of the shields. Well, first off, you don't know what the price is because they haven't been around long enough to trade in sufficient numbers to establish a price. Who saves copper? I don't save copper. I did save copper, but well, let's face it, it's just stacking up in the corner. It's doing nothing for me. A pile of copper pennies over there, what's it doing for you? It's not gaining interest. You put it in the bank, well, then you're not saving the copper. But if you just put it in the bank and got, 1% interest, it'd be better than sitting over there in the corner. Look to Canada as the example of what's going to happen with the copper cents. The bank's going to be required to send it back to the Federal Reserve. That's what Canada's doing. We'll never see the money for those copper cents. The banks will send it to the Federal Reserve, and the government will get that money. This is the government's copper. They paid for it when they made the coins. They want their money back. All right? Now, what do they do with these? You got copper cents, it's got zinc in there, it's got tin in there. They're going to turn that into nickels because nickels are 75% copper. And until, one day when they turn the nickel into a zinc coin, be the Zinkerson. The Zinkersons? Zephyrsons. Well, whatever the hell it is. We won't see that. Now, if the people here did have the ability to melt copper, well, first off, they'd be melted down left and right. And they take it off to the salvage yard. Then the salvage yard would have to assay all these, copper bars people are bringing in and saying, hey, man, you're done melting down zinc and putting it in there. Because the people don't necessarily know that this one's copper and that one's zinc. It's a penny. They throw it in the melt pot. And that's going to really, really frig up the quality of the copper going to the recycle yards. And the recycle yards are going to say, no more. We ain't taking this. We'll take copper wire. We'll take copper plumbing parts. We'll take copper roofing. But we ain't taking back no copper coins, no melted copper. Because there's too many damn idiots out there who are going to just melt down whatever the hell they can, call it good. Anthony Goodley makes the point on the zinc cents. If they deteriorate so easily, then long term, they're going to be scarce or rare. That's right. That is exactly what's going to happen. Most of these circulated Lincoln cents made with zinc are going to be garbage in 20, 30, 40 years. Garbage. You go back to our current situation, you're talking the 70s. Those coins, yeah, they're still out there. They're still plentiful and they're in good shape. But the Lincolns with zinc, you've seen them. They're going to hell in a handbasket fast. And once they're gone, people are just going to throw them aside. They'll throw them in jars, leave them in coffee cans, and let them build up. And over time, they'll just turn into a lump that is valueless. Can't take it to a bank. Can't roll it up. They're going to be junk. They're going to be the people who will lose are the people who just throw them aside. They are without value, and they're going to stay that way. but one day they'll be very rare, especially the nice ones. Once you scratch that top coating of copper, that zinc is going to blossom and bloom, and that coin will be ruined, 10 years later inside a plastic protector. Decone, which book do you want? You got a matte proof you're looking at? Because the matte proofs are only till 1916. So anyway, you save all your copper, you can't take it back to your recycle plant because everybody and his brothers who melted down, the cat's collar ID tag to throw in that copper bucket to get that copper price. The quality of copper going to the recycle yard is going to turn into crap because people are going to melt down tin cans to throw in there. So they're going to stop accepting the copper. Even if they did, all these people sending off copper to the recycle plant are going to dump that price down. It's going to be worthless. You're not going to get $1 a pound. They'll be ripping the power cords out of the walls, melting that down. So we'll never have that big run of copper to the recycle plant. The government will get that. $1 in copper penny is valued at $1.79 in metal value. That's correct. How can you get that? You can't recycle the coins. You can't melt down the coins. That's a violation of federal law, Section 31. I can get you the exact. You'll love this one. What is the law? What is the no-melt law? You ready? It's in Cornell law books, which is a good repository. Of course, you can go straight to the government, but I don't believe anything the government has. And I'm going to find the hello. This will take a week to load. Are you looking at that? Yeah, you're kind of looking at that. This is my blog. It's real nice. I got a friendly challenge with Sylvia. You want to read that. We want to see how much money we can make and then tell people. Hopefully it'll inspire some to, to dabble, to try, to explore a way of improving the situation. This is how long it takes. Usually it's a little bit faster when I'm not live streaming. But I open stuff up in another window first. I'm going to go to post. This is the behind the scenes look at my blog. And it's really quite nice. I'll show you some neat stuff here. Oh, let's see. Copper, cent, no melt law, full text. We'll open that in a new window here. Look at my stats. Did you see this? I'm promoting my blog pretty decent. I'm getting some good hits. It'll take a while. But I need to promote the videos because I got, twice as many hits on the blog as I do on the videos. I'm getting, if you can see that, I'm coming up on 7,000 views a month. That's getting pretty impressive. Now, if I can just get the AdSense ads to work, I should be able to capitalize and monetize on this, right? But that's what this big space is right here. Okay, the law. If you're thinking about melting down those pre-82 copper cents, you want to think again and check the no melt law. Here we go. This is Title 31, CFR. That's the Code of Federal Regulations, the law of the land, ladies and gentlemen. These are the laws that Congress writes, the President signs into law. This is what it looks like. Section 82. This is Title 31 of the Code of Federal Regulations. Subtitle B, Chapter 1, Part 82, 5 cent and 1 cent coin regulations. This is the law. Prohibitions, number 82.1. Except as specifically authorized by the Secretary of the Treasury or designee, or as otherwise provided in this part, no person shall export, melt, or treat A, any 5 cent coin in the United States, or B, any 1 cent coin in the United States. That is the law. That says you may not melt your pennies and nickels. Now you can melt your other stuff, but you cannot melt your pennies and nickels. Okay, now we've got some exceptions. All right, number A, the prohibition contained in section 82. That little squiggle, the funny bulgy S, that's section or paragraph. The prohibition contained in Section 82.1 against the exportation of 5-cent coins and 1-cent coins shall not apply to, and you get Part 1, the exportation in any one shipment of 5-cent coins and 1-cent coins having an aggregate face value of not more than $100. So yeah, you can send, 4 boxes of pennies to Canada. That's no problem. The shipping will suck. You're going to lose money if you're paying for shipping to export pennies to Canada where they can be melted down because Canada does not have this restriction on U.S. coins. And you might do better just to pick out your Canadian pennies because you can melt those down right now. Right? This melt law does not apply to the 1-cent coins of Canada or any other nation, only our pennies. Canada, you can melt it. No problem. Why aren't you melting them now? Okay, number 2, the exportation of 5-cent coins and 1-cent coins carried on an individual or in the personal effects of an individual departing from a place subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. When the aggregate, just read it, will you? When the aggregate face value is not more than $5, or when the aggregate face value is not more than $25, and is clear with a person for the purpose of exporting such coins, is for legitimate personal numismatic amusement or recreational use. Recreational use? I'm going to Germany. I'm going to play video games. Okay, the next exception. Where were we? Okay, B. The prohibition contained in 82.1 against the treatment of 5-cent coins and 1-cent coins shall not apply to the treatment of those coins for educational, amusement, novelty, jewelry, and similar purposes as long as the volumes treated and the nature of the treatment makes it clear that such treatment is not intended as a means by which to profit solely from the value of the metal content of the coins. Now, how does that apply? It means I can take a pile of pennies and I can counterstamp Kennedy's face on them, or Liberty Bell, or all these states. That one gives you an exception so you can make those counterstamped coins. That's treating. Yeah, that's legal, but in limited quantity. And you're not doing it for the metal content of the coin. Okay, C, the prohibition contained in 82.1 against the exportation, melting, or treatment of 5-cent and 1-cent coins shall not apply to coins exported, melted, or treated incidental to the recycling of other materials as long as such 5-cent and 1-cent coins were not added to other materials for their metallurgical value. Now I'm melting down some steel. My wallet fell in. There's 75 cents and change in there. Well, that happens. So you don't get nailed to the cross of that. 2, the volumes of the 5-cent coins and 1-cent coins relative to the volumes of the other materials recycled makes it clear that the presence of such coins is merely incidental. Well, I was melting some steel and some pennies fell in by accident. Well, okay, you got 1 pound of steel and 7,000 pounds of pennies. Yeah, that's, you can drop your wallet in there. Number 3, the separation of the 5-cent and 1-cent coins from the other materials would be impractical or cost prohibitive. Okay, this is where a guy's recycling a couch. And, well, some coins got in there that were in the couch. And he's just trying to recycle, the steel springs in the couch by setting the thing on fire, burning off all the carboniferous materials and recycling the steel in the springs. But, there's some change in the couch. Okay, D, the prohibition contained in 82.1 against the exportation, melting, or treatment of 5-cent coins shall not apply to 5-cent coins inscribed with the years 42, 3, 4, 5. Those silver nickels, you can melt those down all day. You'll be okay. E, the prohibition contained in 82.1 against the exportation of 5-cent coins and 1-cent coins shall not apply to 5-cent coins and 1-cent coins exported by a Federal Reserve Bank or domestic depository institution to a foreign central bank when the exportation of 5 cents and 1 cent is used for circulating money. Yeah, there you go. You can take your coins, you can send them to France, or somebody can, the Federal Reserve can, because over in France they're going to take your francs and give you dollars and change. So that's allowed because you're going to use it as money. You're not sending it over there to be melted down. And that's really only applies to the Federal Reserve anyway. F, we got Part 1. The prohibition contained against exportation, melting, or treatment of 5-cent coins, 1-cent coins shall not apply to coins exported, melted, or treated under a written license issued by the Secretary of the Treasury or his designee. So you can actually apply to the Secretary of the Treasury. Application license should be transmitted to the Directory of the United States Mint, 801 9th Street, Northwest, Washington, D.C., and a zip code. And you can apply for a license to export pennies and nickels to be melted down. Now tell me, who's going to get approved for that if you're not in that old boy club? Anyway, this is the rest of those, and I'll give you the link here if I can. See how many people stuck through that. Live dashboard. 4 people stuck through that. Here's a link to the actual no melt law, full text, and you can read those over. So you're not going to get that. You're never going to see the money for that copper. Zinc stinks. Yep, it does. Bring back the old pennies. I wonder if I'm broadcasting. Yeah, sure, why not? How fast? Beats me. I'm in the red and orange and red. Well, that's not too bad. Usually I drop into the yellow a lot of times. Let's get that picture up so we got something to look at again. Oh, that went away. How do we make this work? I suppose that's it. Who's Godzilla? What'd I miss? The problem with copper is the price of the copper also is not high enough. Well, to really make much money. It costs, transportation is a big issue. These things are darn heavy, and the price per pound really isn't substantial. Yeah, you make decent money on cabbage at 89 cents a pound, but it costs you next to nothing to get it. If you're doing pennies, well, you're paying $1.60 a pound anyway, and you're selling for $2.79. It's a tight bit in there. Then the guy who's going to buy your pennies, he's going to make a profit. He's going to pay to melt the darn things down, extract the copper, market the copper. There's no money in it. If there is money to be made, it's going to be, a 2% margin. And the only way then is massive volume. Now, who's got that kind of massive volume? You'd have to have a constant supply of pennies coming in, a nice rye ale, so several rye ale sorters to keep them separated at such a rate that you can, load up friggin' semis, back them in, fill them up, wheel them out the door. So wherever they're going to recycle these pennies, you want to be the guy across the street where you're getting the pennies to be recycled. SJ's going to bed. Why did you just stay up and stream? I would have watched. Oh, no matter. Yep, I'm going to call it good too. I've been on for, what is this thing, 3 hours? Damn near 3 hours. And I need to find some food. I think I'll fry up some eggs. I ran out of eggs, so I had to fry some mayonnaise. You don't want to go there, man. Yeah, in a couple hours, I'll go to the store and get a loaf of bread. Yep, this is neat because Cheryl has to go to bed and I'm always up, so I'll just do a live stream after she goes to bed. All right, we're down to one person watching, and I think it's Anthony. Yep, that's what I'm saying, Anthony. You're it. And I'm going to call it good for the night. I've been on for 3 hours. I'm going to smoke this here cigarette. Nasty cigar. And reload my coffee. Find some food, and then get back to cleaning off that desk that I started to do 3 hours ago. Good Lord, I can't keep up with that desk. But I need to get some coins listed up for tomorrow.